And the one thing about prejudging is Rebecca on our team, I haven't talked to her other than Grandpa's funeral. I haven't talked to her since I was probably a senior in high school. And I would not have thought of reaching out to her. But with David working the account, and I said, I am not going to prejudge. I'm going to let him do whatever he's going to do. And he reached out to her. And she is excited and doing well. And she's right from that same area. She's from that same area that you're talking about that doesn't have a lot of money, which of course I know that that's the area. However, sometimes those are the best people because they may want a chance at that zero opportunity. So one thing I learned from David reaching out to her is don't say, David, don't reach out to this person or that person. Go ahead and reach out to everybody without the prejudging. But we can connect offline and we can definitely plan on something, and maybe we can coordinate something with David to come up with a strategy on going to the college campus. And it'll have to be probably sometime before May, because I think school gets let out. We could even do something about a summer, people that want to make money for the summer.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's summer classes too. It doesn't have to be before May necessarily. We can also do it in the fall too. Fall semesters, I would argue there's more people on campus in the fall because the weather's nicer and there's more classes offered in the fall other than a rather comparison to the spring. So even after May, starting in August, that's when fall.
We want to get going ASAP. Collect electric bills.
Everybody I talk to when I'm communicating with them is about trying to figure out where they fit and what strategy they want to be able to use. When I started here a couple of weeks ago, I had an idea that I was going to go after real estate agents. I see an article that says that real estate, that the NRA got hit with National Association of Realtors got hit with a $418 million lawsuit that they've got to pay back to real estate agents because of all the cheating and stuff that's going on with commissions and so forth. Mm-hmm. So I wrote up an email, and I got the email prepared to go out to a group of people that are real estate agents. I was all hyped up to go do it. And then all of a sudden, right out of the clear blue, a very close friend of mine who was the senior vice president for Century 21 back in the 90s of the headquarters, he contacted me on Facebook and said, "Are you selling solar?" And I sent him back a message and said, "Yeah." And I just said yes. And he wrote a message. All I said was yes. He wrote me back a message. He says, "Call me. I want to know what you're doing." And so for the next couple of days, I was speaking to him on the telephone. I never, ever tried to sell him anything. He lives in a $3 million home he lives in up in Lake Lanier, Georgia. And his daughter is now a multimillionaire working for a huge entertainment company out in California. She lives on Venice Beach, just bought a $4.5 million home and wants to put a brand new roof on it. And I've got the electric bills for both of those places. And he said to me, this is his exact words. He said, "Take me through the process." So I took him through the whole process. And I said to him, "This is my idea about going after real estate agents." He said, "I want you to come up with a strategy to go after real estate brokers." I said, "I don't know how to go after a real estate broker." "How would you go after a real estate broker?" So we talked about it for a couple of days. And on Thursday of this last week, he left his home in Georgia and he drove to North Carolina to meet with a broker that I know. His name is Ebb. I think it's Ebb Johnson. And Ebb has 17 locations that he owns, 17 real estate locations that he owns. He's got 1,200 real estate agents. And him and Don got together. And Debbie, you know Don. You know Don personally. He got together with the real estate agents or with the broker, and the broker told him, we didn't have a strategy. We did not have a strategy. The broker told him, I don't want to let the real estate agents know anything about what I'm doing. That's what he told them. I don't want the real estate agents in my office to know anything about what I'm doing. And Don called me on the phone and said, what do we do? He doesn't want the real estate agents to know what he's doing. I said, you know what I think Eb is going to do? He goes, what? I said, I think that what he's going to do is he's going to want us to put together a telephone room, and he's going to give us he's going to give us every single client in the last 10 years that he has sold houses to. And he's going to say, we can call those people on the phone and solicit them directly without having his real estate agents involved at all. So one guy just took everything away from his real estate agents and is keeping it for himself because it's incredible amounts of money. And that is exactly what took place. That deal got closed today. Okay. They just finished the deal with me early this morning. That real estate agent made a decision, the broker made a decision just like that to cut the real estate agents right out from underneath right out. He cut their feet right out from underneath them. I mean, it's a business move, and there's nothing that anybody can do about it. It's life in the city, right? I mean, it's just the way it goes. But the real estate agents, that tells you right now alone what's going on in the business. Real estate agents are getting it from all sides, including their own brokers. The brokers are looking for ways to make their own money because it costs them an arm and a leg to run a brokerage. I mean, they charge real estate agents just to use a copy machine. I mean, come on, it's crazy. So there's a strategy there everywhere you turn. Everywhere you turn, you just got to figure out what way to get into the niche that you want to get into. That's all it is. Okay. I want to let everybody know Debbie's been in the, Debbie is somebody that I've been chasing for about 6 months to get to do something. She, her and I have been friends for a long, long time. And she worked in the office with me when Don and I were partners, Don Martin, the guy I was just talking about. And I finally got in touch with her, and I asked her what she was doing. And she was driving for Uber. And so I go, you're an Uber driver? She said, yes. And she told me her story, right? And look, I said to everybody just now that when you ask a question, you've got to already know the answer, right? You got to already know the answer. So the moment she started talking about Uber, I started asking her questions about Uber. What do we all know? Everything that we've already learned, what do we already know about what's going on with drivers with Uber? What are their complaints always going to be about? Always going to be about the vehicle being wear and tear on the vehicle, the hours that they got to work, the app going down. All of the negative stuff comes out right there from anybody that's driving or Uber or running an Airbnb. All of those things come out, right? That's right. All I had to do is sit back and listen to what Deb said, and then I went and told her the story about what I was doing. And let me tell you something. You want to see somebody that was negative right off the bat, man. She didn't want to know anything about friggin' solar. I can't see myself walking up to any door anywhere, knocking on anybody's door, asking for their electric bill. I can't see it. I can't see it. I can't do it. I can't do it. I said, okay, don't do it. I'll find somebody else to do it. But think about getting involved. So she gets involved with it. She gets a code number, and all we do is spend a little bit of time on Facebook. And we ended up sending out a message, and she sent out 12 messages, and one person already sent her an electric bill on Facebook, just like that. She's only been a stranger. Somebody that she knows, and we are an acquaintance on Facebook. But nice. She's only been with us for 3 weeks. Okay, now listen. Now there's another lady on this call right now. I met her. It was the weirdest thing the way I met this lady. She was sitting in Pamela's house, just like they're sitting there right now. And I couldn't see her on camera like I could see her right now. But she was listening intently to everything going on. And she's already got solar on her home across the street from Pam. They're already solar users. And she loves solar, right? She loves solar. She says to me, I'll go door to door. I'll talk to all my neighbors. I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll do it. A couple of days ago, she gave me a list. She put together a list. How many people are on the list that you went to? She even went to where did you go? Tell us where you went to.
It's called HCAT. It's the city tax page. All you got to do is put in an address or a range of addresses on a street, and it brings up everybody's name and the addresses and how to, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's where you have to pay taxes.
And then she goes and calls on those people. Hi, I'm your neighbor. I live in your neighborhood. I see you walking. Whatever it takes. It's an electric bill. That's what you got to get through your head. It's an electric bill. That when you get the electric bill, you have an opportunity to pull in $7 grand. That is the stupidest thing on the planet that I've ever heard. I mean, it's ridiculous. Look at it. It's an electric bill. It's paper. They give you paper that all you have to do is coach them. Look, if you don't know how to download it, take it out of the envelope and take pictures of it with your mobile phone and send it to me. That's all you got to, those are the kind of things you got to do to make it work. There's all kinds of different strategies that we can put together to get these electric bills and start the process. It's so cool. It's unbelievable. And so Deb's got her first electric bill. I'm super excited about that. Pam's already got a lady that's got 5 electric bills. Christina's been with us for 3 weeks. She's got 5 electric bills, and she's doing her first presentation tomorrow. And all the presentations are being set up as we speak.
Nice. I have 2 coming up.
You, Pam, how many do you have coming up? You got 2 coming up. 2 coming up.
Plus Nathan's mom has, she's agreed to do hers and we have hers. So Nathan will have his as well.
Now look, I'll do this little training right here. This is how much education you need about solar. I mean, it's so simple, it's unbelievable. Here's your electric bill right here. This is your electric bill. $295 or $250, whatever number it is. Okay. And then all of a sudden you have solar. Here's your solar bill right down here. Let's say let's say this is $250. Let's say this is $75. Okay. $250, $75. All you're doing is swapping bills. You're just swapping bills. You understand that? All you're doing is swapping bills. And this bill, the solar bill, has an end date to it. It goes away at some time. This bill, all it does is goes up, 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 up. So the question is, okay, just between you and I, which one do you want? Do you want the electric bill or do you want the solar bill? Do you want the electric bill or do you want the solar bill? Which way are they going to go? Which way are they going to go? The only thing they're going to say to you is that they're a little confused or they don't know what they should do. And when that happens, when you get that kind of a reply back, it just means that they need a little bit more help. They need a little bit more education, and they need to ask some questions so you can identify what the answers are. But that's all it is. You don't still have an electric bill. You're just swapping bills. You no longer have the electric bill. You have the solar payment. That's it. And the solar payment goes away after say, what would the length of time be, Craig? Do you know? Is it a 25? It's not 25 years, is it?
I think it is.
So the payment is a 25-year payment?
I'm not sure, but I get the gist that it may be because of the warranties.
So let me ask you, what happens? Do you know if the house sells?
The warranties and everything goes with the house.
Can I answer that?
Yeah, go ahead.
I learned that in my training today.
Go ahead.
It stays with the house. There is
Sure.
there's no lien put on the home by the solar company.
Interesting.
Not anymore.
No,
Interesting.
there's 2 companies that do it, and we are not one of them that do
Yep.
the financing.
Just so you know, Dawn got certified.
The financing is done by Mosaic and by Sunrun Finance. Mosaic Finance and Sunrun Finance are the 2 companies that finance. 0 down, no down payment, no down payment, and all you have to have is a credit score of 650, and you're in. It's easy peasy, easy peasy.
Well, the one that I have that I asked for an electric bill, like I said, is the family that I help in the morning. And I just asked him, you know, I realize that you said you've had this done before, but really what I would like you to do is listen with an open mind. And if you have a concern, I would like you to tell me what that concern is, because I would like to learn, because if you have that concern, I want to hear that concern, because you're not the only person that has the concern. So if you'll pass me on your electric bill, then we'll get something scheduled. Would you do that for me? And he said, yes. And so I'm in the process of getting his electric bill, and I'm really curious because he was absolutely against solar, and his bill right now in March in Houston is $600 a month. And I can imagine in August it's going to be $800 a month, $800 or $900. So how do you? Where do you justify? So I'm very curious about this call, because I want to use him to learn from.
Everybody is who you want to learn from. That's exactly right. You go at everybody. You speak to everybody about it. And for me, my strategy for doing the business is I don't ever talk to anybody about solar. I'm not talking to them about, you know, me selling solar, putting solar on their house. Mine is always, I'm interested in, I want to look for sharp individuals that want to make money. I'm looking for people that are having interest in making extra money or having a full-time job. And then when they communicate with me and say that they have an interest, then I can ask them for their electric bill. I'm going to ask you guys a question, a group question. Tell me the number one source of lead generation for Build Network and Encore Solar. What is it? Go ahead.
Internal consumption.
That's what it is. Internal consumption. Okay.
So each
What
and
does
every
that-
one of us it means that basically each and every one of us are leads by coming into the business that have homes.
Which means that everybody you talk to, when you ask them if they want to have an opportunity and they say yes to you, part of the opportunity presentation is to ask for the electric bill.
Mm-hmm.
And if they said to you, I'm a renter, I don't have an electric bill, or I don't pay an electric bill, my landlord pays it, or whatever, what would the next couple of questions be?
How can I contact the landlord?
Well, you could be, how can I contact the landlord? You can also ask, who do you know?
That's right. Mom and dad, friends, neighbors, or relatives. In this business, don't be afraid to ask those questions. Names, friends, neighbors, and relatives all day long. Don't be afraid to ask for it. It is money in the bank, because just like we said in the very beginning, we're not going to prejudge anybody because we don't know. We have no idea where people are in their lives financially. How many people are living up there in the area where you're talking about, Nathan, that might have, there's just a possibility they could have $100,000 in the bank. I mean, just because they live in a rat hole maybe doesn't mean that they don't have savings. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm being real honest. You never know anything about anybody's financial situation. And the goal is to be trying to help as many people as you possibly can. And the way we help is by offering the opportunity. And then if it's available to them, to offer the solar part of the business. The next thing I want to go over is, what is the difference? What is the difference between an affiliate and a consultant? Nathan, have you been able to go into the back office at all and read anything or go through any of the back office, any of the training at all?
I haven't done any of the training. The most I've done is I got on and I made my affiliate account.
Okay, go in. I don't know any longer if the affiliates are able. I don't know any longer if the affiliates are able to.
Access the
I
training.
don't know if the affiliates are able any longer to get in and do. Good evening, Mr. Jim. I'm gonna let him talk about the compensation here for a few seconds.
Yeah,
He might
Jim,
not. He's
Yeah,
on
Jim,
mute.
Jim, I would definitely like to hear more to understand the compensation a little bit more on the network marketing side, the power of team.
So I'm in my truck, just got done unloading our monthly hay load here. But so I missed everything before this. And then of course, hold on.
You're cool. We can see you perfectly.
Yeah, on the okay,
And
so go ahead.
we can hear you perfectly as well.
Oh, good. All right, so we want to talk about the build side, right? The actual two-team side is, yeah, all right.
Mhm.
Do you have
Right, the
questions
two-team
about it?
side.
So the one question that I had is, I know that as of April 1st, they said that the stuff will be going away in the back office if you didn't upgrade. So what happens, just say, for example, if Nathan decides to upgrade 3 months from now, will he still have his same team building until he upgrades, or did he lose out on who was there?
So I am not the authority per se on that, but I've seen that same question posed before this change is coming up. And based on knowledge of having worked binaries for many years myself, the team is still building under them. They're just not going to be receiving any pay.
Right.
And the same would apply to somebody who's a consultant and not at the builder level yet. They're still going to have a position. There's still going to be people down there, and there's going to be pay flowing up through them. And once they do upgrade to builder status, they will then begin to capture whatever that flow is.
As a consultant, not as the affiliate.
Well, not even as a consultant.
No, as a
Oh,
builder.
so either way,
No,
neither
as a
way.
builder only.
Okay,
Yeah,
builder.
as a builder. But
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. So if he decides 6 months from now that he's okay, I'm ready to start building, then the stuff will flow, correct? That was my understanding. I just wanted to confirm that.
Yep.
We keep shaking our head yes, but Jim, you just said no. Here, if
No. Hold on, David. My
ahead.
turn. My
Okay,
turn.
go.
She's exactly right. If somebody who's an affiliate even, and let's just say, for example, because I love this number, as an example, they ended up with 240 builders under them on the left side and 240 builders, meaning people paying their $99 a month, right? On the right-hand side, and they are still an affiliate. So they've been receiving nothing. And then they decide they're going to upgrade and to builder level.
Yep.
They will instantly then become eligible in the next month for an $8,000 monthly paycheck, because that's what it happens to be. 240 and 240 is an $8,000 monthly payday.
Are you kidding me?
Not at all.
That's why I wanted to get as many people, because get yourself in there. Yeah, get in there. If nothing else, just I even told my sister, just trust me on this. Like, get in there. Just yes. That was my understanding from the network marketing side, that I have familiarity. If you are in there, then you're part of the team. And you, yes, whenever you then upgrade to builder, yes.
Yep. And so, in a more realistic standpoint, you, as the responsible upline, are watching. Now, well, we'll cover that in a minute, but you're watching. And so all of a sudden you see there's 10, 12 people on the left and 10, 12 people on the right of this person who's an affiliate, right? Then getting a hold of them and saying, hey, why don't you pay $199 now and then $99 a month, because you're going to trigger a $500 monthly payday from that point forward.
I'm on here.
You're not muted, whoever that is.
Oh, sorry. I just told, yeah.
So anyway, yeah, that's the point is, and you're again accurate. Telling people just get in and hold a position while this thing begins to form is actually good advice. and then
Wow.
watch it. But now, here's the thing. Can you see my fingers?
Yep.
Yay, okay. Since I'm holding the phone with one hand, I can't duplicate this, but let's just say that this new person is over here in this leg that you've got holding this affiliate position. And then if we drop that down and say, that's you're familiar with the term spill leg
Yep.
or power leg. Okay. The other leg, oh, there you are. The other leg, their inside leg, if they're not doing anything at all, and as an affiliate, here's the big key to this whole shift they've just made. The inside leg will never see anybody in it unless that person sponsors somebody, because it's not a spill leg. There will be no spillover coming down the inside leg. Does that all make sense to everybody?
Not to me.
Okay,
I don't
so that's why.
understand that part.
Okay, so here you are, two teams, right?
Mhm.
Yep.
And we'll say that there's somebody above you, and for everybody, is this left or is this one the left or the right side? This one,
The right.
Right.
really? Well,
Yep,
it's left.
right.
Well, you're backwards because you're
Yeah,
on
I'm
camera.
backwards. Okay, so the right side. And we'll say that you're in your sponsor's right side. When they bring on somebody in their right side, it's going to, because that spot's already taken by you, then that new person's going to, the computer's going to look down the right leg and find the next open slot, which might be 3 or 4 or 10 people down, right side, right side, right side, right side. Boom, there's an empty slot. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay. Now, here you are, you've got this leg receiving spillover from people above you in the right-hand side.
Mhm.
How will anybody ever end up in your left leg?
Can't you put placement like we did before? Alternate right, left, right, left?
No. Well, yes, but it's your right left. So it's going to be your outside left, your outside right. The person under you, that is what's called an inside leg, meaning the only way someone's going to end up there that they personally did not sponsor is if you personally give sponsorship away to them. Meaning you just give them the person and say, sign them up.
But that's not a real smart thing to do, right?
That's not a smart thing to do. It's demotivating in many, many, many ways.
Right.
And
Direct.
here's why. I mean, let's
Way to
just go ahead and cover the biggest demotivators.
Good job.
One is by giving that person away, you've just taught that person, whether you wanted to or not, don't worry about it. Somebody's here to rescue you.
Mhm.
Worse, however, here this person is, they didn't sponsor that person. And now you've just literally kind of created an orphan because you've put somebody under somebody who so far isn't working. Not what your plan was, right? So in the land of binary, as I've told David, it's an unwritten rule, almost unspoken, but it does get spoken, that you don't ever build inside legs because you're demotivating, you're teaching the wrong thing, you've just created an orphan. If that person never catches on fire and starts to build, they will never receive another person in their downline. They'll have to build it all themselves, which happens. I mean, the real deal is you join companies to build your own business. If somebody comes to me and they say, hey, it's binary, which one's your power leg? I need to be in your power leg. You got to sponsor me, or you don't get me, and I'm heavy hitter here. You're not a heavy hitter if you're trying to force your way into somebody's power leg anyway. What you're telling me is you don't really want to work. You want to, lots of terms for sponge off of the work of others, but being in a situation where you've got a lot of activity going down one leg, yes, you can then focus on your other leg, the one that's not receiving spillover, because everybody here has one leg that will receive spillover from above, and you've got one leg that won't happen. Nothing's going to happen unless you do it. That's your inside leg from your upline's perspective. The one that does not receive spillover.
Interesting.
But are you saying it's not proper to put people on that inside leg? But
I'm
to
saying
let
it's
it
not
build itself?
smart. Proper is another, right? Proper is a whole nother thing, but smart, not really smart. Now, well, all
Just
right, so let's
continue
go.
to add to a leg that's already growing on its own?
Well, that's kind of what you're doing with spillover. Let's cover though one potential thing, and so now we're covering an area where I haven't spoken to the company about this, but let's just say you have reasons for wanting to sponsor a family member.
Mhm.
Well, you would first of all put the family member in your spillover leg. Usually, there will be one reason why you don't, which I'll tell you here in a second. But so that,
That's what I did.
yeah, and the reason is because then you only have to build their inside leg, the one that's not getting any spillover. Put them on the side where stuff's already going on. Okay, family member, pull, and if you're the one planning to do all the work, now you do only have to focus on the one leg. Does that make sense to everybody?
Sure.
Mhm.
Yeah. Why would you do otherwise? Why would you not necessarily right away go after the inside leg of a family member and you put them in your spillover leg? If the situation is right, you've got your spillover leg, you're just starting, and you want to make sure you never find yourself unpay qualified because you put somebody in that spillover over leg and they quit. They went inactive. Well, it requires 2 active legs to be pay qualified, yes?
Mhm.
Well, the smart move is put a family member in the spillover leg, and we call it anchoring that leg,
Mm.
meaning you put somebody there that you know for sure is never going to quit because you're the one paying the bill,
Mhm.
right? That way, your spillover leg is anchored with somebody that will never quit because you're paying the bill, and you can then go after all the people you want to build on your, they call it a team leg, your build leg, whatever, the one that's not getting spillover. And you don't feel guilty because let's just say you got a really good friend. Yeah, you're going to make a lot of money. You're going to see a lot of people. You put them over there and you know they're not strong. Well, you just put them in a leg you're not planning on building. So they'll only have one side unless you built their inside leg. Family member, you don't have that issue. You can always come back to it, but you won't feel guilty putting them in a leg that they don't know how to build and you're not going to build it because you got to focus on the one you got to build to make your paycheck. Let me know if I'm going way over everybody's head here.
I
No,
want
but the
to,
question that I have is that the same thing as like holding a position? Because I
Yep.
know whenever I worked with another network marketing, they would put somebody in to hold them and then they could actually change their name and slide somebody in there. Can they do that or no?
Well, and again, you're into an area where we don't know just how lenient they want to be. I've actually bought binary positions from people because they had, a good thing going. They wanted out. They were all done building. It was creating a small-ish, but it had a good, strong power leg. And so I bought those in the past because you could buy the position out. But yeah, you can work out a deal where you hold that position, and let's just say, for example, you put your family member in there, and now let's just say, for example, 2 different terms, I suppose. In one binary that we bought, there was $250,000 a month in volume happening in the power leg, and nothing was happening in the other leg. But hey, I'm not going to worry about that power leg and whoever because it's there, and all I had to do is build the other side to create the paycheck. All right, so you've anchored this position with a family member, and now let's just say there is 240 or 500 people in our pay terms in that power leg, and your family member no longer needs to hold that position. There it is. Sell it, give it away, if you wanted to somebody who says, hey, and they will build. The only value in a leg with a ton of volume in a binary is if they can build the other side. The inside leg to you is what that really, because you're not going to put people down there. You've got your own pay leg you need to build. But
Can you change the name though?
well, you would have to, I mean, to really do it right, you would need to go to the company and say, hey, I've got somebody taking this over, because there's going to be issues like, who are we writing the check to? Who's going to get the 1099? Right? If somebody dies, who gets it in the will? So I mean, you got to do it legit, but you can legit do that because binaries are the most popularly bought pay positions or negotiated or used as leverage of any comp plan out there.
I never knew any of that.
Yeah, that's why I said this is powerful. This is where yeah, this is powerful. Thank you so much for the explanation.
That's
Very
You're
helpful.
very welcome.
That's unreal. This on the dual team bonus. It's you need to have one direct on each leg, and then in order to be at the 500 a month, all you need is 10 those two and 9 of each on the other down each leg, and it doesn't matter where they come from, right? They don't have to be direct. The only people that have to be direct are 2 directs that you have in that leg to start that program.
Right.
Okay.
But again, just to be clear, so you really get a firm grasp. Here's the 2 teams, right? And you've got we said this is the right leg.
Yeah.
And left leg.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, as it happens, I'm in David's left side. All right. So David's above me. Call my knuckles up there, David. Anyway, and here's my right leg. I've got, I don't know how many people going down my left side. So I have a personal over here. I have a personal over here. How will I ever get people in this is called the pay leg, power leg, pay leg. How will I ever get people over here? Will David put them there?
You have to.
Exactly. That's all I want you guys to really, really get is spillover will always come to what's called your outside leg, and they call that your power leg or whatever. Your payday is over here. I could have 200 or 300 or 400 people in the leg that David has spilled a ton of people under me. Once I get 10 in this leg, I will start getting a $500 check. Then when I get 25 over here, because there's already 100 or more over here, right? When I have either personally sponsored or my one person went crazy, because they don't all have to be mine, but this is the pay leg for me. And it's to David, it's my inside leg that he would have to either put people by giving them away or Jim, get busy. That's the motivation for me to go get 25 now, because at 25 and 150, the system says, well, there's at least 25 in his pay leg. Now I get and it's just crazy, you guys. The pay they have here is insane. 50 people paying $100 a month. Go to any network marketing company out there and say, I got 50 people paying $100 a month, and I'm getting $1,000 a month. How about you? Watch them fall off their chair. It's just, it's a crazy.
I told that to Don. He was like, "You got to be kidding me."
So I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because this is really fascinating to me. So thank you.
We only got
I know. You have a power leg, and then you have your pay leg.
Correct.
You have the power leg that's growing fast. So are you now intentionally putting people on your pay leg so then they slide over?
You want to put, and so that, I'm glad you brought that up, because it brings up the question that, or the issue, we'll call it, that I'll describe in a moment. But yes, so then you shift your sponsoring preference to only go to that leg. You don't need any more people going down your already going out of control leg, right? Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Sure.
Okay, good. So now you get the person who says, binary, 2-team, huh? Which one is your power leg? You're going to put me in that one, right?
Not me.
If you just say no, you could lose them. Depends on the person. Okay, and don't feel bad if they say, well, fine, I'm just not going to join. Good, you don't want them.
Mhm.
Here's the answer that you can use. You could say no, because I don't know how long that momentum is going to last. But when I put you in, if I were to put you in the power leg, you know you're going to the bottom of it, right? That is true, by the way. The system's just going to look. Here's the next open slot. It could be 300 people down. You know you're going to go on the bottom of it. And I don't know how many of those people are going to keep building. I don't know how many of them are just affiliates right now holding a position. Here's what I do know. I'm building the crap out of my pay leg right now.
Mm.
You want to be in the leg I'm building.
Got it. Right.
Yep.
Right. Okay. That's what I've been saying. Jim, you know what? You need to take some time. If I could get with you, I want you to take a look at my legs and tell me whether I'm doing the right thing or the wrong thing. Okay.
A little later, this is been a busy day with the hay and everything else going on. But yeah, we can hook up.
Do it Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, next week.
Sure.
I don't care.
All
All
right.
right, guys, we got to jump and get on to the other.
Oh,
All
get
right.
on to the
that thing starts in mere seconds, doesn't it? Oh,
I
I'm
know,
still
this
sitting
was
there-
a good
I'm
call.
still sitting in
Thank
the
you.
truck.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right.
Sergio, good to see you, man.
All right, see y'all.
Bye-bye. Bye, Nathan. Debbie, see you later. You got the link to the other meeting if you want to go. You're on mute. You're on mute. You know, you got to learn how to do it, honey. I got to run.